This is something that is very much controversial, not only before the Protestant community, but even for our church, because the lack of understanding. And I do believe that's important for us to dwell in this more fully in the aspect of what is really important when we talk about purgatory. Purgatory, it has to do with the question of justice and mercy, because sometimes for the Protestant, it's all about mercy. The mercy of God is absolute. When you profess God as your Lord and Savior, you are saved. Faith alone, as made mention. But how about the justice of God? If there is faith alone, why do we have to do good? Why do we have to repair broken relationships or repair what has been done as damage in the relationships that we have? So there's still justice as heaven and earth. In between that, there's always the reparation. And justice and mercy should be reconciling. And purgatory is something that thank you, Brother Jess, made it possible for us to create the two poles of the bridge that made possible for people to cross. And that is, if the other pole is weak, then the bridge will fall. If the pole is, then you would not be able to cross. Mercy and justice should be balanced, reconciled. And purgatory is the logic of the church, is the logic theologically, and in some ways, though it is not direct, but it is very much in the logic of the church found in the Bible, very balanced. And that is what I would like to emphasize. Because it is balanced, we have to understand that the aspect of indulgence, as in the understanding of purgatory, is very reconciled because it has to do with grace. Indulgence has to do with the workings of grace because the church was given the authority to effect grace through the sacraments. And if we are given authority to effect grace in the sacraments as to forgive sins, as to anoint the person, as to enforce the aspect of sanctification, both actual and sanctifying grace, in the church, in the activity of the church, then you would understand that indulgence is important. Though it may be controversial, the aspect of indulgence is important for the understanding of grace in the church given as authority by Christ in Matthew 16. Whatever you bound on earth will be bound in heaven. Whatever you held loose on earth will be loose in heaven. And that is where the mechanics of grace is important. Just that po. And thank you very much again, Brother Jess.